Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good, Steve. You want to kick us off?
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome everyone. My name's Steve Ramlett. I manage our Dot on Demand business. I've been at Dot for call it almost 15 years now, and I've held a number of different roles, whether it's managing our Midwest sales team to managing Wisconsin and Michigan distributors, as well as working on a national account team. But most recently, for the last 6 years, I've been managing our Dot on Demand business. And for years now, Dot's been trying to work on trying to find new and innovative ways to help our distributors expand their product offering, but also the most importantly, they've just continued to try. We try to continue to find ways to expand the e-commerce capabilities of our distributors. We find that to be extremely important as we continue to move forward. That our distributor partners have a number of different solutions that can help them compete and succeed in the future. So as you know, we've been working on different solutions, whether it's putting your sales team on our website or providing new drop ship capabilities to help our distributors manage special orders and expand their offering. So for the last, call it, year or so, though, we've kind of been trying to get a lay of the landscape of what's occurring in our industry. And as you may know, there's been several new technology companies that have entered our space. But for the last year, we've been evaluating the environment and trying to understand, hey, who's capable of what, and try to figure out, hey, who's someone that we could develop a strategic partnership that would allow our customers to provide them with an e-commerce environment and ordering platform for their operators that far exceeds what is currently out there today, and in the future is going to have the tools to help them be successful for the long term. So this past April, we announced a strategic partnership with Choco. We chose Choco over a number of different players in the industry, mainly for a few reasons. One, their IT capabilities, we came away with very impressed with. They have years of experience in this space, and they also have financial backing that's going to be able to help them be successful from an IT standpoint, just not from now, but in the future. They also have some new innovative AI capabilities that are going to continue to be incredibly important. And they already have a solution that's been in place for months now that as hopefully separates them between what you'll experience in the marketplace. And we've already seen that pay off. And then maybe most importantly, we've made sure that we try to align ourselves with a company that really aligns with how Dot is from a cultural standpoint. We share many of the same values, and that we are trying to make sure that we are trying to develop a solution that's in the best interest for our distributors for the long term. So we've had this partnership for about 6 months now. And within that short 6 month span, we've already had about multiple dozens of partnerships that we've developed as a result of the partnership with Choco and with new distributors as they've been brought onto Choco's platform. So today, the main goal here, we have Georgie Thomas, the general manager for Choco in the U.S. He's going to help bring up the speed on Choco and their exciting capabilities. So with that, I'll pass it over to Georgie.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Steve. And yeah, just ditto to what Steve has said. Super excited to partner with Dot over the last 6 months. It's been a tremendous partnership for these past 6 months. We've seen a lot of momentum, and a lot of what I'm going to cover today is a lot of the basis for why we signed these partnerships with the folks we have so far from the Dot side. And hopefully we'll give a little bit more on a view of what we see is happening in the industry, some things that are happening in the future, and some things we're working on as well. So I'll click to the next slide here. A lot of this is going to be pretty AI driven. That's a pretty big buzzword. So we're going to talk a lot, kind of high level about how AI works, but drill that down into what that means for food distributors and particularly for you, and how that works within the walls of Choco. It's pretty exciting to see the impact that's happened so far, and there's a lot of a big road ahead as well. So starting at the beginning, what is AI, artificial intelligence? The way to think about this is it's a really intelligent assistant or a really smart puzzle solver. Let's say you had a 10-piece puzzle or a 5,000-piece puzzle. Every time a piece gets placed and a puzzle is solved, that AI gets smarter and understands how to solve that better in the future. If we're using the example for the food industry, let's say you had like a magic recipe book that you could take a ton of different ingredients, and then that recipe book would give you the exact recipe to come out with based out of thousands of different recipes and ingredients that it's looked at in the past. That's the way AI works. It's constantly updating and evolving based off of data that it sees. Now, there's two different kinds of AI that you might run into. One is called narrow AI, and one is general AI. Narrow AI is stuff you probably interact with a lot on a daily basis. That's like your spam filter for email, recommended products online. But general AI, that's what you hear a lot more about nowadays. That's what you see in the movies, where there's actually more human-like aspects to the way AI actually works. So let's go into that a little bit more. As I mentioned, AI has actually already really been around in a lot of different areas. When you are opening your phone and using Face ID, that's a form of AI. When you are using Spotify and you are coming up with that recommended playlist, another form of AI. What I like to do, Netflix on a Friday night, get a recommended movie, another form of AI. This might seem like pretty normal everyday thing, but that's the way AI has already been introduced into the way we work today. Now, those are forms of a narrow AI, as I talked about before, and what we're seeing are more use cases of general AI pop up in the future. So what about it has made things change more recently, though? Why have we heard AI be talked about in much more frequency over the past few years? There's a few factors that are really contributing to this. Number one is around computational power and computing in general. So the algorithms that run and power these AI systems need really powerful computers, and those computers have been getting more and more powerful, especially recently, and have allowed for AI to really flourish. A second one, a really big one, data. So one of the big premises for AI in general is having a really big base of data to train on, because when it has more data, it's able to get smarter, as we talked about with the puzzle example, and to get better at predicting what should happen in the future. That is really relevant in the food industry, and especially for food distributors, where there is more data than you might even know what to do with. And there's actually more data being generated on a daily basis than there ever has been in the past before. The technology is now more affordable than it's ever been before. This used to really only be available for larger companies, and it's now getting to an affordability point where smaller to medium-sized companies can also use this as well. This can give you back operational efficiencies. And in an industry where margins matter, 1 to 2% can make all the difference. That efficiency can be really, really important. For this last point, staying competitive, because I guarantee you, everyone in this industry is going to be looking at some form of AI, if not now, within the next 12 to 24 months. But it is important to take a step back and understand not everyone is at the same levels of adoption when it comes to technology. And so it's important to understand where you're at in this journey and then figure out what are the most relevant steps for you to take as you think about technology going forward. There are some folks who are maybe really starting at the beginning of this journey, don't have a lot of technology adopted. Things are pretty manual. The beauty of what you can do today is have a full e-commerce experience paired with AI-powered order transcription. This can get you a lot of benefits in terms of your customer-facing abilities, but also the time that can give back to your reps and CS teams as well by having this really sort of like full set solution. Now, there might be some folks who say, well, you know what? We have online ordering today, but we're looking to get to the next level in terms of how we can modernize. Also, with a lot of folks with online ordering, even if you have that, you might notice that your adoption is only 10%, 15%, 20%. The beauty of adding on AI on top of this is that it can get you to 100%. And not only 100% of orders being processed in a digital manner, you can also start to use AI to start understanding more insights about your customers, equipping your DSRs in a better way to perform more efficiently in the future. And then finally, there might be folks who have gone through really all these steps of the journey. They have AI, they have the ordering process in place. They're really starting to look at these next level insights. These are some things we'll talk about a little bit more in the presentation, but there are ways to integrate the AI insights into what your team and reps are doing to understand at a particular customer level and even down to an ingredient level what customers are doing, why they're doing that, and how to change your behavior to increase sales. So what we can see, particularly for the food industry, is that it is moving very fast as it relates to digitalization. There's a pretty slow growth that happened for a long time, but the last few years, there's been a lot of really exciting growth. And there's anticipated to be a lot more exciting growth over the next few years as well. And one of the main reasons for that really is AI. There is a lot of potential for AI that still is yet to come over the next 3 to 5 years. And that's particularly important for the food industry because there are certain dynamics of the food industry that make it very appealing for these kinds of technological solutions. Number one, we've talked about the margin piece. In an area where there is tight margins, all of this efficiency can really help. Number two, there is a lot of potential regulatory compliance from FSMA 204 to local regulations. This is an area that AI can actually help with to help comply with these regulations better. And then finally, just overall quality demands, right? Whether that's from customers or all throughout the supply chain, there's a lot that AI can do to improve quality and help to keep a distributor more competitive. So what are some of these real world ways we've seen AI be adopted in the food service industry today? Number one, procurement optimization. So there's companies like Easy Stock and Blue Yonder. They're really helping on the purchasing side, understanding exactly from a pricing perspective, what's the right time and right price to acquire different supplies for a distributor. For WMSs, for warehouse management, there's a lot of interesting technology that's coming out. Companies like Locus Robotics and Six River Systems, really focusing on a lot of different aspects, but especially around reducing manual labor, inventory tracking, and then figuring out the best ways to make the warehouse really efficient. And then finally, a really key piece to this is food and waste reduction. So companies like Winnow and LeanPath that are really putting a lot of data into food spoilage, expiration dates, and tying that back into the procurement side to make sure purchasing happens in a way that minimizes cost and food waste as well. Okay, so we've talked pretty high level about how AI is expanding, how it's continuing to get better, but also more importantly, why is this really important for the food industry? There's a lot of great examples of how it's being adopted today, and then also why the food industry is sort of ripe for this kind of technology. So you might be thinking to yourself, maybe this is something we want to take on our own and build our own solution. I think it's pretty important to understand kind of some of the pieces that go along with what that might entail. So number one, most of these AI solutions are built on top of pretty complex technology, these LLMs or large language models. These models change all the time. And so there's a lot of complexity that comes with just building your own original solution. But related to that, there's also complexity with the actual maintenance of these solutions because as these underlying models update, it also makes it harder to make sure your technology is going to work in the same way going forward. And you want to make sure there is a high level of continuity as you're employing this, as this is a critical part of how your business is going to operate in the future as well. And then finally, there's just some misconceptions or risks around what it means for to use AI today. It's not a silver bullet solution for every single thing. It's not going to solve every dilemma that you have. And there are some parts to the data that are really important to understand as you're employing this as well. So let's talk about that a little bit more. There are some very good cases for how to use AI and maybe some not so great cases for it. Number one, administrative tasks, right? So when there are these repetitive, specific tasks that you can have, AI is a great way to actually do that. For both workflows and process orientation, also really good examples of using AI because there's usually a set of rules that gets followed, and AI is very good at following those rules and processing things in those ways. Finally, data enrichment. Data enrichment can be really interesting here, where you can take lots of different messy pieces of data, pull that all together into one sort of central place that you're viewing something, and make it much more digestible and usable to use for the end user. Well, where is it not so good? Number one, strategic planning is a place it's not really going to work so well. If you were to go to an AI tool and say, build me this 6-month plan, build me this 12-month strategic plan for my business, it's actually not going to do a really great job, mainly because it lacks a lot of the nuance for your business to actually build something that's detailed enough for you to go and use and that will be impactful on what you do on a day-to-day basis. Also, customer-centric relationships, right? So one of the top things that might fall into this that you might think is like sales. And it's like, all right, well, there are some aspects of the sales process that can be automated, that can be used for AI, but that actual person-to-person, human-human touch, the belly-to-belly sales is really, really important in this industry and should never really be automated away through AI. So once you've gone through all the steps, you start to figure out, okay, this is how I want to use this. This is how I think I'm going to implement this. These are the best use case for it. You want to make sure this actually works and you're set up to do this in a proper way. So the first thing you got to really focus on is the integration capability that you have with this tool. The beauty of AI tools is that they're not really these siloed tools. They can work across a lot of different systems that you use. So you need to make sure that those integrate very easily and simply. The next piece is staff training. And this might be one of the most overlooked pieces for how do you implement this in the right way. You can go through a whole a sales process, a whole thing about why this might be good for your company. And if you're not getting your staff involved to understand the benefits of this, to train them on the tool, to make sure they actually use this, then at the end of the day, you're going to spend a lot of time and money on something that ultimately doesn't have a lot of adoption and doesn't actually drive impact for your company. Next, you want something where there's going to be ongoing support from the partner that you choose to go with. As I mentioned before, that might be from a technical perspective, that might be from a customer service perspective, but you want that almost 24/7 touch point with your partner so you're able to make sure everything is moving in the way you want. And if there is ever an issue, it can get solved immediately. And then finally, you want to focus on what are the proper ROI expectations from implementing a tool like this. All of these tools are going to cost something, obviously. But what are you going to get in return? It should be really clear before you embark on doing this whole thing and before you start the process of integrating, et cetera, training your staff, that you understand what you're going to get out of it and that you're measuring your outcomes so that it really closely matches what those expectations are. So I wanted to go into the Choco example today of where this really can fit in, where AI can play a difference, as well as some other e-commerce tools. Ordering, which is a huge part of what everyone has to do. It has to go smoothly. It also, in a traditional sense, is pretty messy to do. I won't go through every single step on this screen, but as you can see from the operator, ordering, maybe going to a rep or an order desk, going through the ERPs to picking and packing, and then getting that back out to an operator. There's a lot of individual steps. There's a lot of different ways those orders can come in, whether that's email, voicemail, SMS. And there's a lot of variability for how those orders actually take place and what they might mean. So what that means is that today's ordering really can translate into a lot of manual labor, as well as a lot of potential errors that can occur because this isn't a really clear system of how this actually flows through the whole supply chain. So what we offer at Choco today is a way to get to 100% digital orders. And there's two big methods to be able to achieve that. One is through a distributor app, a white label experience, which we'll show in a little bit. And another is through Choco AI. And Choco AI is a way to basically take all these different formats of ordering, email, voicemail, SMS, WhatsApp, even images of writing that can be translated into a digital order as if it was placed through a distributor's app. So let's go through the first piece. A white label app. This is your brand, your app, and it has a lot of great features for operators to make this super easy. The ordering functionality is super simple and intuitive to use. There's actually inventory for operators to be able to use as well, that allows them to make sure where their inventory levels are at, or to place a new order if they're running low. And then there's a really easy delivery check that shows a lot around, did you get the right items? Were they the right quality of what you wanted? This is all translates into this really beautiful branded app that comes in your colors, your logo, your catalog, specific order guides per customer, but then also the ability to upsell to those customers through the catalog and through promotions that can directly go to the customers in their app. And then most importantly, one of the things that we offer at Choco is actually white glove onboarding support. So that's not just you on your own trying to onboard your customers to use this app. We actually have a team that can call on your operators and help them to place their first 3 orders and make sure that they have a great experience as they're using the app itself. Now, what about the AI piece of this? As I mentioned, there's a whole other aspect, because as we have seen on the app alone, you might get to 20% adoption, 30% adoption, maybe 50% adoption in a really high case, but there's still 50% or more of orders that are coming through in manual ways that you need a way to process. So I'm excited to actually talk about one of the examples where we've had Choco AI adopted on top of using our app. This is for Cardi Foods, a Dot customer. They have over 1,000 customers, a broadliner based out of New England, and they're adopted across a few different products for us. And we have this video, which I'm going to play right now.
We needed a partner that understood what Cardi Foods needs today and what Cardi Foods needs in the future. Choco filled all those boxes and worked with us on creating a solution that we can use on a day-to-day basis and feel good about. My name is Angela DiVirgilio. I'm the president here and one of the owners. I've been working with Cardi Foods for 19 years. When our sales reps have to take time out of their day to enter orders, you've got time taken away from them spending with their customers, and also the ability for mistakes to be made when entering orders. Solutions we were looking at was how to streamline our process. How do we get our reps out there working with their customers in a better manner? How do we get our inside sales team working more efficiently? My idea for an ideal operation is that our sales reps are out doing what they love. They're working with their customers, they're selling. My inside customer service reps are also doing the same, what they love, assisting customers that are calling in and emailing orders. Choco has brought us to the next level of customer satisfaction with the ability to make order entry so much easier. We all know that these days there's a lot of talk around AI. What we found most intriguing about Choco is the fact that they're integrating AI into their platform, which makes order entry for our rep and order entry for our customer service reps even that much more efficient. Choco has brought a new dynamic for order entry to Accardi Foods, and that has given us the results we were looking for. Our customers are happy, but just as important, our employees are doing what they love. If another company is looking at Choco to bring on as their partner, I would say to them, why not? It's the perfect partnership. You can grow with Choco, and Choco will be there for you every step of the way. We needed a partner that.
Here we go. Okay. So awesome to hear that from Angela at Accardi, one of our long-term partners who started out in the app and then has also transitioned to using AI, and you can see the benefits that's happened on their business. So what does this mean for using AI? It might feel like there's a lot of things that you have to do to get this going right. It's actually pretty simple. There's two major steps. Number one, we go through a pre-training process. This is where we take order history, sales history for a 3 to 6 month period for a distributor, match that up against catalog, and that's the initial set of training for the model, which is then able to suggest or recommend what an order means when it comes in. And then the next step is actually just forwarding those orders, whether that's from voicemail, from email, from text. Those all can get sent into the AI tool based off that pre-training that's happened before. It's able to then say what those orders mean, and whether there's, one person saying tomato and you have 10 different SKUs for tomato, it knows that based off the history of that customer itself. Ultimately, this means you can get to literally 100 times faster processing with zero manual entry and have a tool that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which means you'll never face the shortages that you might have faced in the past as well. As we think about Choco, that's where we're starting, but we're also excited about where we're going. And we're really expanding the impact around the technology and the tool across different parts of the business. So some other things that we're going to talk about, we've talked through Choco AI. There's a bit more we're going to go into detail on CRM AI, marketing AI, the DSR app, and then Endless Aisle, which is in partnership with Dot as well. So on the marketing AI piece, there are parts of the AI technology that we can integrate into our marketing and promotions tool that helps to generate the actual text to build for campaigns. This makes these campaigns much more impactful because it reaches those customers right in their app. We see really high conversion in terms of selling specific products and promotions through that way. There are CRM functions within the Choco portal itself. So it's really important on a per customer basis, you're able to understand the trends that a customer is doing, whether they're ordering more, ordering less, whether they've stopped ordering altogether, or even down to an individual item. Have they stopped ordering that piece? Are they ordering less of that piece? Is there an upsell opportunity based off of what you're seeing there? We've also taken a lot of what's the best out of a bunch of these different products and built this specifically into a DSR app. So we're going to show you a video on that as well.
Introducing the new Distributor Sales Rep app by Choco, your go-to tool for boosting sales, growing customer relationships, and driving revenue. With AI-powered customer insights, know exactly how your customers are behaving. Spot upsell opportunities and push higher margin products, making every interaction more profitable. Manage your whole book of business with real-time AI-powered alerts. You can prioritize and act fast on upsell opportunities or risks of churn. Don't just react. Anticipate and maximize every sale. With instant access to a real-time product catalog, you're always ready to offer the best recommendations and prevent missed orders. Marketing AI turns every customer interaction into a chance for revenue. Launch personalized campaigns, track what works, and keep your sales growing. Need fast order processing? Just take a screenshot, send it through the app, and let Choco AI handle the rest so you can manage more orders and boost your revenue. And there's more. The Distributor Sales Rep app gives sales reps the power to prospect directly via the app and scan menus to understand prospects' needs, making it easier than ever to win new customers. Boost your sales, grow your business with Choco.
So pretty cool. And again, we touched on a lot of those features, but one that was highlighted right at the end there, being able to scan menus, pull the ingredients, and then prospect based off of that is a way not to just now process orders, but also to generate more sales for DSRs and for your company as well. Just twice. Okay, and then super exciting to talk about our partnership with Dot. We're, as we mentioned at the beginning, really excited about the progress there. One of the things we are in process with rolling out is Endless Aisle through Dot On Demand. So this provides distributors with the ability to list Dot SKUs without having to actually warehouse this themselves and sell through on those apps through a sell through on those products through a rev share with Dot. So effectively, you can really expand your catalog quite a bit without having the hassle of warehousing these products at all. So this is kind of a final slide here. One thing I like to end with, it's with some real customer examples, and it's about being ahead of the curve. When I talk about world's best cheese, it's one of the largest cheese purveyors in the country. It's been around for 40 or 50 years. When they were first starting out, they were one of the first companies to use barcodes and UPC codes. And that was this really game-changing thing for them because before that, all of their staff had to memorize a bunch of information that made it very hard for them to be efficient. But using this new technology allowed them to get much more efficient and to sell a lot more. Fossil Farms is a meat purveyor in New York. Similar story here. They were one of the first distributors to use a cloud-based ERP. It allowed their sales reps to get a lot more time out in the field, and it has allowed them to skyrocket into a really important position as a meat distributor in that area. It's just two examples of two companies that decided to take the risk to try out this technology early and really reap the rewards and benefits. And that's really the point of time we're at today in terms of what distributors should be thinking about or looking at when it comes to AI technology as well. And the reason for that is that the impact that we're going to see from AI technology compared to what we saw from barcodes or cloud ERP is going to be exponential. So there is an opportunity right now to step in and take advantage of this now and take advantage of all those gains that will happen in the future and also be maybe a part of shaping how this technology will look in the future as well. So with that, I'm going to kind of wrap up with the overall presentation, leaving this screen up just in case anyone wants to scan the QR code, and then you can book a meeting directly with our team. But with that, we can open it up for questions. And sorry, I'm just seeing this now. So to ask questions, if you just open up the Q&A function within Zoom, you should be able to just type in the questions. Just make sure you're hitting that to sending that to hosts and panelists, and we can answer any questions people have. Okay, seeing some questions. Sorry, I don't think I was seeing this in my own thing. So let me just pull these up. Here we go. Okay. How do we know if this app will integrate with systems we are currently using? That's a great question. We integrate with over 200 plus ERPs. So it's sort of our bread and butter in terms of what we can do. We haven't really met an ERP yet that we can't integrate with. But the first thing that we do as we're going through and we're scoping any potential project is do a feasibility check where we learn about your tech setup, about your ERP, and then understand the ways that we could potentially integrate. That's usually through API or through SFTP, and then we kind of take it from there. But we have a team of solution and integration engineers who are based in the U.S. who just build these integrations all day long. So again, we haven't found a system yet that we can't integrate with. For the next one, are you integrating into ERPs? Yes, we are integrating into ERPs. That is a key part of how the system works, so that everything that is placed as an order through the system on the Choco side actually gets fed back into the ERP. Can you send a link to this presentation so that I can share it with others in our team? For sure. Happy to send this out. I think we can send it out to the attendee list as well. The next question was, how are you different to Pepper and Cut and Dry? I'd say, look, you know, we're all kind of playing in a very similar space. We are offering these ordering solutions. I think the main difference that you will see with us is the AI portion that we offer. We were offering this sort of exclusively. We've been out in the market with this for over a year at this point. It works extremely well across all order formats, and we're able to get this live in a pretty short amount of time. I think I saw that is one of the additional questions in terms of typical integration timeframes. We typically can integrate within about 30 days. Sometimes that'll take maybe 60 days, but it's usually around 30. That's for the technical integration. Obviously, there's staff training, et cetera, that goes on top of that. So that will usually fall within the overall 60-day timeline. On the pricing portion, we have a flat fee that we price. It is based off of kind of the individual aspects of your business, whether that is how many total customers we're going to, how many sites we're going to, what the integration will actually look like. So that goes into the scoping as well, and something we're happy to look at in further conversations. Do we have any AI applications on the wholesale distributor purchasing and warehousing side? Great question. That is something we're actively looking at. There's nothing we have out in the market just yet, but it is one of the biggest requests that we get, particularly on the purchasing side. So that is something we are taking a look at. Great questions. How many customers do you have live? We have several hundreds of customers live across the globe. We are a global company. So we are headquartered out of Berlin, and we have operations in 7 countries around the world. Can these apps be customer specific so that they will see their individual most ordered items? That's actually exactly how it works. So for the apps themselves, for the white label apps, the main ordering interface that an operator will see, what a restaurant will see, is their order guide. That order guide is set up specifically based off of their order history, which we can pull basically through the integration with the ERPs or through other sales and order history that gets sent to us. But that's the first thing that the customer will see. On top of that, they do have access to the catalog, so they can order more than what they normally order. But what they will first just see is what they normally order. How do we handle customer pricing of SKUs? So we are able to have specific pricing down to a customer level. And that is either built through the integration, or we have separate ways of maintaining that pricing. We just need to get that pricing from the distributor and sent on a real-time basis. Once we have that set up, then that is live, and we can have that basically pull live going forward. How long does it usually take to hear back about a demo? We aim to reach out to everyone within 24 hours. So if you have not heard back from us in 24 hours, I will also give my email, my personal email, so that anyone can reach out to me as well. I'll say it right now. It's my name, georgie.thomas@choco.com. That's GEORGIE.Thomas, THOMAS, @CHOCO.com. But we can send that out as well when we send out the deck to go along with this. I'm seeing some other questions on the side here, which I will answer. What type of distributors do we work with? The good news is we work with everyone. We work with specialty, we work with broadline. We have customers, we have distributor customers who have operator counts around 100 total customers. We have distributors who have operator counts around 5,000. So we have quite a range of folks that we work with, and it really just depends on the solution they're looking for, what we can offer to them. Do we have tracking trucks? So what we have are ways to basically integrate with other logistics software where truck tracking is available. So built off a similar technology like we have for integrations with the ERPs. If there is truck tracking that you are using from another software, we can build that truck tracking into what you see and what your operators see as well. All right, I think we're okay. One additional question: we can load products that are not through Dot, correct? 100%, and it is important to understand the relationship with Dot and how this works. First of all, again, super appreciative for our relationship with Dot. It's helped us to open doors and make these introductions with distributors. but this is a strategic partnership with Dot, and what that means is that any contract that you're signing is with Choco. This is a separate service software product that is with Choco. So you will be able to have all of your own catalog on there, whether that's sourced through Dot or not. What are you doing with our data? Does Dot see it? That's a really great question. Dot does not see it. That again goes back to the answer I just said. This is we are a separate company. We have separate data warehouses. Actually, being a European company, we have much stricter data privacy laws that we have to follow. GDPR that is much stricter than a company in the US. So we have to keep that very, very secure. We are not allowed to share any data unless we have explicit approval from the distributor customer on what to do with it. Great questions. Awesome. Well, I think we slowed down a bit on the questions. I think we got a lot in there. But if there are other ones, again, either through a demo, emailing me directly, happy to answer those. And I will stop sharing now. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined this and was a part of this. Super excited to present on this. Thank you, Steve, for being here as well. And yeah, hopefully we can have conversations and talk a bit more in the approval as well.
Good deal. Appreciate everyone.
Thanks.